Welcome to Tuesday Update. Today is Tuesday, December 8th. Well, we had 419 people at Mass this past weekend between the church here and the parish center, so it was a good weekend. And hey, just a reminder, we don't open the doors until a half hour before Mass, and I know it's getting colder, so the doors don't open until a half hour. Now, the reason we do that is all these professionals tell us that to try and minimize the time we spend in an enclosed space. So that's why we don't open until 30 minutes before. But as this cold weather starts to settle in, we don't want you to have to stand outside in the cold. So don't come until at least 30 minutes before Mass, okay? We had our men's and women's Advent breakfast this past Friday and Saturday. It went really, really well. I think John Musaw and Rebecca Ricciuti did a great job. I'm grateful to Neil Johanning, who kind of pulled the whole thing together. We had, of course, do it virtually this year. Couldn't do the breakfast as we'd like to do it with everybody else, but I think it went really, really well. We had 700 views of our men's breakfast and 900 views for our women's. So a lot of people watched it, and if you didn't get a chance to see it, it's still on the website. Just take a look and you can play it. John and Rebecca did a wonderful job. I think when people tell their stories about faith and life, it really can influence us as well. We learn a lot from them on that. So I hope if you didn't get a chance to see it, you might take a look at any one of those three platforms has a video of that. I think you'd enjoy it. Feast of the Immaculate Conception is today. We have the Mary statue out here. This is one of my favorite Mary statues right here. This is the one from the school. I love this one here. But we had a Mass at 9 o'clock this morning to honor Mary. We have another one at 6 o'clock tonight. So whether you're going to be here in person or you want to watch us on our live stream, and you can always watch the video of the Mass on the live stream as well as we honor her. And again, just a reminder, when you come through the main door, right? Come through the main door and have that contact tracing form and your mask. But you're doing a great job with that. And we are going to be continuing our weekday Masses. So remember, we're going to be doing Tuesday at 9 a.m., Wednesday at 6:30. Main door, come in through, and we've got some ambassadors here who will help you be seated and seat you safely, okay? Advent is a time in which we try to take a look at sinfulness in our life, and so if I can ever help anybody out with confession or penance or reconciliation, those three things all mean the same thing, huh? I'm always over in the chapel from 4 to 4:45 on Saturdays, but I recognize that doesn't work for a lot of people, so tonight and for the next Tuesday nights, I'll be over in the chapel if I can help you with reconciliation or penance or confession from 5 to 6. I was joking this past weekend. I had said I would be there for the 4 Tuesdays in Advent. Last Tuesday, I forgot all about it. I was in my office and it wasn't until about 6:45. I thought, I was supposed to be down there at 5 o'clock. So I apologize to you. If you showed up last Tuesday from 5 to 6 looking for reconciliation, my apologies to you, but I'll be there the next three Tuesdays. Thanks for all you're doing for our annual Christmas giving tree. Remember, we're looking to try and help out those who are needy this Christmas with gift cards and cash gifts as well. And so we're going to try and wrap up everything by December 13th. December 13th. So if you do have something, you can put it in the collection baskets here at Mass or go out to the black box, the drop box outside the chapel on the main wall out there. Well, this past Sunday, the second Sunday of Advent, we lit the second candle, which represents love, love. And so we've asked one of our 8th graders, Kieran Cummins, to come down and just answer the question, how has he seen God's love in his life? So, Kieran?
Okay, so when I am down, I look to God. I talk to God and I pray. To me, it does not matter how long or what a prayer is about. It is still a conversation and a moment with God. And when I am with God, I feel loved.
Kieran, thanks. It's good to hear you're praying, and that's a really, really important thing for us to do to stay connected to God. And that's how we do it. That's our communication with God is prayer. So good job. Hey, many of you know Alex Turpin. He's our typical Saturday night cantor, with a beautiful voice. And I've invited Alex to join us today. He's got some really exciting news, and I wanted you to hear it. Alex?
Good afternoon, everyone. As Father Walsh mentioned, my name is Alexander Turpin, and you probably recognize me as the guy who's normally standing over in the corner canting the 5 o'clock vigil masses here at St. Pius X. You may also know me as the son of Carmela and the late James Turpin, and the brother of my sister Carla Turpin, who was a teacher here at the school. I'd like to thank Father Walsh for giving me the opportunity to speak with you all today to let you know officially that I'm in formation for the priesthood for the Diocese of Albany. And so if you had told me about 10 years ago that I would say something like that, I absolutely would have thought that you were crazy. Though I had certainly always admired the work of the priest, whether that be as an elementary school student here at St. Pius X or as a high school student at Shaker High School, I never imagined myself in that role. No, I always knew that I wanted to be a musician. And so I went away to earn degrees in voice performance at the Eastman School of Music and the University of Michigan, which led to performances all over the world and collegiate teaching positions, which is exactly the kind of life that a classical singer envisions for himself. So everything was perfect. But then, as if on cue, as soon as God had blessed me with all of those things that I thought I wanted, He planted something else in me that I haven't been able to get rid of, try as I might. And boy, did I try. For 5 years, I would feel the Holy Spirit prodding me to ask myself, does God want me, Alex, to be a priest of Jesus Christ? I could always fight it off after a bit of a struggle, but it would never stay away for long. And each time it came back, it would be stronger and more persistent, eventually leading me to realize that the only option I had left was to give in, so to speak, and to begin the work to find out if God is indeed asking me and calling me to the priesthood. Now, I don't have that answer yet. Discernment is a process, and I don't expect to have that answer for quite a while, but I can tell you that I have a good feeling about it. I'm currently working on the pre-theology coursework required for entry to major seminary, and I'm being guided by our wonderful vocations team here in the diocese. Our diocese is extremely supportive of those of us in formation, giving us all the tools we need to determine what God is asking us to do. And to that end, I encourage anyone considering diocesan priesthood, the diaconate, or religious life to contact the vocations office. Even if you decide it's not right for you, you'll walk out with a richer, deeper faith than you had when you walked in. And that's the great thing that I've come to learn about discernment. So long as you try to listen to the Lord, it's impossible for you to lose. I'm particularly happy to get to talk to you about discernment today because, like Father said, we're currently in the season of Advent, which is my personal favorite time of the liturgical year. And just as this time is an invitation to us to ask ourselves how we can make our hearts more hospitable to Christ when He arrives on Christmas, discernment in the vocational sense is the means by which we inquire about what specific state in life will allow us to conform to God's plan for us. It's sort of another kind of Advent, but I can tell you that it lasts considerably longer than 4 weeks. And yet more fitting is today's celebration of the Immaculate Conception of Mary, who so unselfishly said yes to God at every moment in her life. And so I ask for your prayers for me and for all of us at the St. Isaac Jogues House of Formation who are working to determine in what way God is asking us to say yes to Him in our own lives, and wish for you to know that I will continue to keep you, my parish family, in my prayers. The only downside to having such a large parish family is that there are many of you I don't know. So whether we know each other or not, please feel free at any time you see me to stop me and say hi. And that goes double if we don't know each other, because I'd love to get to know you. To wrap things up, I'd like to thank Father Walsh, as well as Father Michael Frano, Father Michael Flannery, Father Anthony Legato, Father Brian Slezak, Father Rick Lesser, and Father Jeffrey Larsh, as well as my parish mate in formation, Tom Filati, for their ongoing generosity, guidance, encouragement, and example of discipleship. I'd also like to thank all of you, because it really is through your prayers and your contributions that formation is possible for all of us. So from all of us in discernment and in formation, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you, and may God bless you.
Well, thank you, Alex, for sharing that good news with us. We are so fortunate to have a couple of guys looking at the priesthood, seminarians, and Tom Filati and Alex now. And parishes where there's deep faith, they produce vocations. And so this is Alex's vocation at this point is a credit to you in this parish. So thank you for your prayers for both of them. And again, I think I mentioned it when Tom made the announcement, just because somebody goes into formation doesn't mean they're ready to be ordained a priest. They are, it's like when you date someone, you don't marry them after the first month. You're dating a person with time, and you're thinking, you're praying, and then you get that sense of peace with time, then you know you're ready. And it's the same with Alex and Tom. They've got several years ahead of them, as I call, you date the priesthood. Does it feel right? Does the shoe fit? And so they're just starting out, but our parish, I'm very, very proud of this parish because vocations come from faithful parishes. Okay, December 20th, from 11 to 12, we're going to have return those bags. Remember, so if you got your Advent in a box or Advent in a bag, there's that bag. We're trying to fill it with food items. We're trying to help people out in the months of January and February because that's when, there's not a lot of food available for these shelters. So we're going to do the pickup out here in the parking lot, December 20, 11 to 12. It's going to be decorated up nice. I think you're going to enjoy it. And we do have, Santa's going to be out there. And so he'll be socially distanced and give us a couple of ho-ho-hos, and he'll be waving out there to us. And even if you don't have a bag, come, bring your family, bring your kids. But that's going to be a nice event. So that's December 20th. Christmas Masses. I want to tell you about those. So I'm going to stick pretty close to my notes because I don't want to forget anything, okay? So there's 3 options for this Christmas. To come here in pew for Christmas. The second option is not coming here, but participating in our communion drive-through in the parking lot, okay? Because we want everybody to be able to receive communion for Christmas. The third option is just stay at home, watch the Mass on the live stream, and just stay at home. So let me go through those 3 scenarios with the details of each one, okay? So the first scenario is for those coming here to Christmas Mass, okay? There's going to be 3 Christmas Eve Masses. They're 1 o'clock, 4:30, and 8 p.m. There'll be 1 Christmas Day Mass, 10 a.m. They all will require a reservation. We don't want people showing up here and then all of a sudden being told there's too many people in the church, you got to go home. So if you're coming here for Christmas, you got to have a reservation. And we're going to begin taking reservations the evening of December 14th. December 14th. On that reservation, you're going to choose which Mass you want, and you're going to get to choose between attending here in the church. There's 170 reservations for the church. The parish center, 115 reservations, or the chapel, 25 reservations for each of those 4 Masses. We'd ask that you have a maximum of 6 people per reservation. You will get a confirmation on your email, on your computer. We're asking you to print that out and bring it to Mass so that you show that you have registered, and that serves as your contact tracing form. Okay? We would ask you to please only register for 1 Mass and only when you know your plans. That would help us a lot. Now, Neil Johanning has graciously offered to help us. Okay, and I'm really, really grateful to Neil. It's a large job trying to coordinate this. So the parish office isn't the one that's coordinating, it's Neil. And you're going to see his contact information on the website, and he'll help you with that. And if you don't have a computer, you can call Neil and he'll get your reservation, okay? Option number 2. If you're uncomfortable attending Mass or if you get shut out, we still want you to have communion on Christmas. Okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to have 3 drive-through communions that are going to take place in the parking lot. The first one is 2:30 to 3:30 on Christmas Eve. The second one is 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. The third one is 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Christmas Day. So we're going to do a little hour each time. Now, the ideal way would be to watch Christmas Mass on the live stream, and then just give us a little bit of time to get the parking lots cleared, and then come over, get in your car, and come on over, and we'll give you details. We're going to bring you in through the school, and we've got a team set up. We'll get you over there to get communion. When you get here, we're going to ask you to stay in your car, okay? We're going to ask you to wear masks. We're going to ask you to bring a contact tracing form. If you don't have one, we'll have somebody there with a clipboard to write out that information for you. If you have more than 4 or 5 people in a car, we would ask you maybe to think about bringing a second car. And that's just so the communion ministers don't have to reach into a car to give out communion. We're trying to keep our communion ministers safe. And so if you have a large number of people, maybe 2 cars. Third option is just staying home, okay? And staying home and watching us on our live stream. You're going to be able to watch it on any one of our 3 platforms. Remember, you got to do it on Facebook, on our parish website, or on YouTube. So those are the 3 options for Christmas. You're going to see, we dropped a letter in the mail yesterday at the post office that all of you will be receiving at home. It repeats a lot of the same information that I've talked about it, and you'll hear me talk about it for the next 2 Tuesdays as well. Speaking of Christmas Masses, we are in need of more of our trained ambassadors if you're available. We're especially in need for the 8 p.m. and the 10 o'clock Christmas Day Mass. If you're able to help us, we'd be grateful for that. And Ann Rose, of course, is our contact. Just reach out to Ann and she'll help you answer any questions. We'd also, if you're ever able to help with our communion drive-through in the parking lot, you don't have to be Eucharistic ministers, we just need helpers. If you might be able to help us out with that, and again, especially in those time periods, 6 to 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve, and 11:30 to 12:30 on Christmas Day. Those are the 2 times we're most need. We're in pretty good shape on that earlier one on Christmas Eve, but those 2 we could use some help. Cindy Pettit is the contact for that. This Thursday's Constant Contact will have her information that you can get a hold of her, okay? So this weekend, 10 o'clock Mass, we're going to have our contemporary music group come back. And we're going to do it in such a way that Brian, our music minister, he's going to socially distance them. And we're only going to use safe instruments so that there's not a problem with germs in the air. So that'll be at 10 o'clock this weekend. The 5 o'clock will be our standard cantor, probably Alex, at 5 o'clock on Saturday. And so you have a choice of music there. And of course, this weekend is the Sacred Heart food collection. It's going to be this weekend. Or during the week, if you want to drop things off, we'll make sure they get down there. You know, we've had to, with our religious education programs, confirmation programs, we're going to have to go fully remote. With this uptick in COVID, we want to try and keep our kids and our staff and our teachers safe. So all elementary school, middle school, high school, and confirmation programs are going to be fully remote at this point. I would, for any students that are in any of those programs, you will be hearing from Lauren and from Ann Smith. So for our teachers or our young people who are in that, please look for some information coming from them. You know, this Christmas, many less people are going to be able to attend. So with our 4 masses, we're only going to be able to get a total of 1,200 people in here. Last year, we had almost 4,000 come for Christmas Mass. So 3/4 of our people aren't going to be able to come. And I really would like something from your family to be with me in the sanctuary as I celebrate these Masses with our community. And so we're going to have some Christmas trees back here. And just want to ask you to think about, you know, sending us an ornament. You haven't got to go buy a new ornament or anything, but maybe there's an ornament from your tree, or you want to make something. Maybe it's a picture. Maybe it's a picture of you and your family lighting the Advent wreath. Maybe it's something made out of construction paper. But just something that we can hang on the trees that are going to be here in the sanctuary, so that, you know, we feel as if our family is still here. Everybody's here, even though there's only going to be 1,200 people out of the 4,000. So think about doing that. Just something that maybe represents faith to you and your family. that we can hang on the tree. And what we'll do is we'll end up putting a box in the rear of the church, and you can come in anytime during the course of the week, just put it in the box, we'll have it labeled, and then we'll hang it on the tree. We're trying to get them all by December 20th so we can decorate those trees. But that would mean a lot to me, and I think it's something that kind of can hold our parish family together, that we all really are here, even though we can't be physically here. You don't have to put a family name on there. If you do, we're more than happy to have that, but you don't have to do that. And it could be for a single person, a couple, or a family. We want everybody involved, okay? Bambinelli Sunday is this Sunday, third week in Advent. Remember, we take the baby Jesus from our creche and we have them blessed. That's a tradition that John Paul II had years ago in Rome. And so if you're going to be coming to Mass this weekend, bring your little baby Jesus. At the end of Mass, we'll do a blessing on those. If you're at home on the live stream, maybe get out your baby Jesus for your creche and kind of have that. We'll do a blessing through the live stream. Quick construction update on our new Parish Life Center. So if you see it today, you're going to see there's a construction fence in the area that we're going to be working. And I'm hopeful this week, as I say, we're going to dig some dirt this week. So hopefully the weather will cooperate and we'll start to move some soil this week, but we're underway, and as long as this weather stays fairly mild, we're going to try and get some work done before that real cold comes. I know this has been a long Tuesday update, and I apologize for the length. Just there's a lot of things going on and information I want you to know about, pass along to you. So thanks for your patience. There's 16 items, so I'm exhausted. I got to go take a nap. But thank you very much for being here, and I'll see some of you here in person this weekend. Others we'll see on the live stream as we celebrate the third Sunday of Advent. So God bless, and thanks for checking out.